Hi, this is Christy with Mobile Mama. Uh, with COVID 19 changing all of our lives around, putting us more online, Mobile Mama also had to evolve. Normally, our A B.E.A.R program is offered in schools to students and staff and also parents. But unfortunately, because of social distancing and just because we want to keep everybody safe, we moved our program to an online platform. So, Osage Community School District, you guys are the first of our program to be offered online and virtual. So please bear with any of the glitches that you may or may not experience with this doing this program online. It's a virtual thing that when I had initially developed this program, I never wanted it to be online. I wanted it to be in person so we could have that face to face connection. So we didn't have a device between us. But again, COVID changed that around for us. So again, please bear with the changes and just kind of get used to how we do this. So with that being said, lesson one, we just kind of do a overview of what it's going to look like, what our A B.E.A.R program is all about, some normal key terms that we're going to be using throughout the next few weeks. Uh, on a side note, what I do want to tell everybody is there is a lot of information out there. Some is false, some is great information, some is so so. What we've done with our Mobile Mama program is we've tried to research what we felt was the best information to provide both students and families. So we want to make sure that everyone understands that we are just trying to provide the best tips, resources, and things like that to keep our kids safe online. So I just want families to realize that there is a plethora of information out there, and we can only provide so much. We can only talk about so much. So, like I had said in the welcome video, if there's something in particular that you would like to see or talk about in these next few lessons, please reach out to me and let me know, or let the school know so we can make sure those issues are addressed. Uh, so we want to make sure that we're covering all the concerns and thoughts for everyone involved in this program. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is some of the terms. The other thing I want to mention, I guess, is in the description below, there will be some links to YouTube videos that you can watch with your child and talk about. I kind of put the age groups next to them so you would know which link to click on. So some of the key terms that we're going to be using are digital citizenship, digital footprint, online safety, what is the internet, trusted adult, and too much information. Those will be some of the things that we cover today. You should be receiving an email from the school with some family tip sheets for certain grades. Please feel free to review those. Again, any suggestions, comments are more than welcome. The first thing that we want to talk about is digital citizenship. What does it mean to be a digital citizen? This means that every time you're online and you're on the web, you are a citizen of the online world. Just like you're a citizen of Osage, you're a citizen of the surrounding communities, but you are a citizen. So each time that you're online, you are a digital citizen. How you portray yourself as a citizen is up to you. Do you want to be a good digital citizen or do you want to be a bad digital citizen? And those are things that you want to discuss with your kids. Obviously, we all want to be good citizens. So, being a good digital citizen would be doing things on the internet that's correct, looking at things that are age appropriate, not being mean to others online, being respectful. things like that. All things that we teach our kids at home to do offline, we want to make sure that they're doing them online also. Digital footprint. Just like when you walk in the sand and your foot impresses a footprint into the wet sand, that is what you're doing each time you're on the internet. So whether you're researching how to bake a cake, or you're looking up new Rachel Ray towels, or you're finding out the cheat code to Minecraft, you leave a footprint. So every time you go somewhere, someone can track you. We want to be careful of that. Our digital footprint can never be erased. Let me say that again. Our digital footprint can never be erased, and that will trail us for the rest of our lives. So we want to be very careful about the footprint that we're leaving. That's why you want to be a good digital citizen, so you leave a good digital footprint. Along with leaving our digital footprint and being a digital citizen, one of those things that we have to be careful of is giving out too much information. What is too much information? Most of the older kids and family members that have been on the internet for a while know what too much information is. But the younger families, the younger children, they don't necessarily know. They feel like if they're playing Minecraft or Roblox or Fortnite and somebody asks them, "What's your address?" and I'll send you codes, sometimes kids are more than willing to give out that information. We want to make sure that we're teaching our kids that giving out that information is not correct. Um, Too much information would be an example of our date of birth, our social security number, our home address, mom and dad's cell phone, grandma and grandpa's cell phone, uh, the school that we go to, the grade that we're in, anything that would be identifying to that particular person. Let me say that again. Too much information is anything that would be identifiable to that person. So we want to be careful about what we put out online. We need plenty of cookie crumbs out there for people to find us. What we don't need to do is give them the whole cookie and let them come right to our doorstep. So that is something that we need to reiterate about giving out too much information, especially with the younger kids, and the more they're getting out online more, they have to be careful. One of the things that you can do is help supervise them, monitor the screen time, along with the email that I will send out or the school will send out. It will be a time recommendation sheet of what is the recommended time that your child should be on the internet or has screen time. But with all of that being said, with everything that I had just stated, I also want parents to realize, adults to realize that I'm not the internet police. I am not telling anyone how to parent. I am not telling anyone what they should or should not do with their kids. These are just some tips on how to keep your kids safe online. That's one thing that I feel is important that needs to be said, is that that's not my job, not my intention here. It's just to give out some information on how to keep your kids safe. Next, we're going to talk about the social media aspect of it. Since COVID-19, kids feel more connected with their devices because that's how they're living their lives. Last year was a great example when just abruptly everything was closed and they went from having an offline life to only an online life. So kids feel more at ease with their devices. But on the flip side of that, that ease can lead into some trouble for them. So we want to make sure as adults we're doing a check with them. The younger kids, if they're watching YouTube or they have their own device, make sure that at night it's in a centrally located place. Um, Limit their screen time to schoolwork and maybe an hour of free time or whatever you deem is okay for your child. You know your kids better than I do. Um, do what I like to call is a social media check. See what kind of apps they're using. If your child panics because to you want to see their device, that would be a red flag. What's going on? Why can't I see it? Make sure you have device free meals to just reconnect as human beings, so they know that there are humans, just not devices. Again, try to have a sit down meal with your child if you're able, or children, just so they know that there's still other ways to communicate than just online. Social media is also termed by Snapchat, Instagram, direct messaging, TikTok, any of those things that our kids are using to communicate. When we were young, we were told not to talk to strangers. Since the internet's been developed, since social media apps are out there, that's how our kids connect, is with strangers. So we want to make sure that we are paying attention to what our kids are talking about, what they're seeing, what they're doing, all those different things. Because those social media apps, as the kids get older, can lead into things like sexting or sending nudes. Uh, with that, the sending the nudes, the sexting, that can go a couple of different ways. It can lead into some cyberbullying, which we'll talk about in another few lessons. It can also lead into human trafficking. Again, that'll be covered in some different lessons here. But those are all the downsides of what social media can do to our older kids, and even our younger kids, as they're getting more and more experience online with what they're doing. Mental health is a huge component of being online, especially in today's world. So, if you have upper middle school kids, high school kids, make sure you're checking in with them. The rates of suicides with these kids with social media and how they're living is on the rise. So we want to make sure that we're there for our kids, that we're able to talk to them, find out how they're feeling, things like that. So as a recap, digital citizenship, digital footprint, online safety, uh, what's the internet, trusted adult. Those are all some key terms. A trusted adult is someone that our kids feel comfortable talking to. It might not be us, it might be an older sibling, maybe grandma and grandpa, it might be a teacher. But as long as they feel comfortable enough to go and talk to them, if they see something that's online that bothers them, scares them, appalls them, or they just don't know what to do with it or how to process it, make sure that they know it's okay to talk to someone. They have to tell someone. So that's a trusted adult. Those are all terms that throughout the next few weeks we'll be talking about. Next week's video will be starting our B.E.A.R program. So B.E.A.R stands for breathe, explain, action, and response. And these steps can be used as young as 5 years old or as old as 95 years old. So, again, breathe, explain, action, and response. We are going to talk about how those steps we can incorporate to use as online safety. So, I look forward to doing next week's video. Yeah, again, anybody has questions, comments, or concerns, my information is in the description below. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm pretty accessible. I want to learn as much as I can from you as families, as I hope that you learn something from me and Mobile Mama. So, with that being said, I hope everybody has a great Friday. Enjoy the weekend. It sounds like it's going to be beautiful. Thank you.